Hello and welcome to another instructional video on the MiSTer FPGA, this time for the Amstrad CPC core. This is how you set up the Amstrad CPC core and get it running and get games on it and start playing with it. I am not super familiar with the Amstrad CPC myself, so there may be some other resources you want to do a search for and look, if you want to get really detailed stuff. This is going to be really basic how to play the games. I have set up and run this core before, not a whole lot, but a little bit, so I have some experience with it, and we'll just see how it goes. So this is the main page that has the README on it. So I'm going to put a link to this in the description. It's good README. Um, that's that. I'll put that in the description. Also, there's this page on the MiSTer FPGA forum posted by Al Anonymous, and it's a cheat sheet for like pretty much all the computer systems. So the Amstrad PCCs on it, you can take a look at that and just notate that somewhere. I should add that this README is also on the MiSTer uh, in the MiSTer core stuff, in the documentation stuff, if you know where to look for that. I did show that in one of my other videos, in the Think the Setup video. You do want to make sure that you're familiar with Update All and you've updated, you've run Update All. I do have a video on that one that'll be linked at the end of this video, so that you have the core and the README files are there. But I'll give you a link to this so you can take a look at the README, on the web. It's probably easier than looking at it on the MiSTer itself anyway. So I think that's it that I need to do on that about telling you those things. Um, anyway, if there's anything else, leave questions in the comments below. Let me know if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Um, and really, I mean, leave a comment if this helps you at all. Is really that's one of my main motivations, is that this is of use to people. So that's that. All right, let me get into the program that I use to copy files over to the MiSTer, for demonstration purposes. I tend to actually do it on my phone, but this can be more practical. Here's your host name, which is the IP address. That's the IP address that I have. I'll show you where you find that. Root name, username is root. This is the default settings. You can change them. The username is root, and the default password is just the number 1. All right, so I'm going to log into it with WinSCP. You can use a different FTP, SFTP program if you like, whatever you like, if you're familiar with them. If you have questions or whatever, pretty much as far as I know, anything will work with it. You can use, uh, Secure CRT, MOBA Xterm. I forget, there's another one that I'm drawing a blank on that's for it. FileZilla, I think. But WinSCP is really good, especially if you've got Windows. All right, so we're gonna put some files on. I've got a chunk of CDTs, so we'll just put that there. I don't know if I have any up here. I should have checked. Let's see how long this takes to go. It says it's gonna be 2 minutes, so I don't know if I'm gonna be talking through 2 minutes or speed it up a little bit. We'll see. And then I got a bunch of disk files, and did I have the game here? Well, I'll copy this over, and once it's done, I'll pause. Once it's done, I'll get there and I'll double check and see if there's a file or something like that. So it won't be in the recording. I'll find it and show you. But these are all CDT files. So I found a CDT list. You can look for a pack of CDT files, or you can look for a pack of. It doesn't have to necessarily be MiSTer compatible. You can look for that. There's like the 2sec TO SEC collections. Those are pretty good. They do have some other files which are in different formats which aren't compatible. The only ones that are compatible are the CDT and the DSK. Mostly we want the DSK, the disk stuff anyway, for the MiSTer. Now the 2sec ones do have the disk stuff is compatible, I think, but it's got some other like cartridge or something that isn't compatible, like CDR or something like that. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but I'll double check it and let you know once this is done copying when I come back. All right, looks like it's gonna be about a minute and a half, so I'll just cut out a minute and a half of this. Okay, and we're just about done. Just a few seconds left here. And you can see this is about 3 minutes it took to copy these files. But whatever you find, your results are going to vary depending on what archives and things you find. So I do at least have one cassette there that I can try, and I'm going to pause and go through these and look at see if I can find that if I had a different cassette one or something like that, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So the files that aren't compatible that you'll find are like CPR files, which is some sort of cartridge format. Um, I think it's for a different Amstrad CPC or something like that than what the MiSTer supports. So those won't work. CDT files, you can look and find an archive if there's a specific file. Mostly it's just going to be you look for the games that you want to try out, download those, play them, to play them, and then if they're in CDT format, you're good, or if they're in DSK format, you're good. Most of the stuff is on disk, I think, because it came with a disk drive. So that's that. And let me see if I had one in. Well, I got CDT files in here. I don't think any of these were. Yeah. So I copied those over. I'm going to copy over some other ones. I might do that one just for grins. And then I will do Prince of Persia because that's really cool. And I don't know if I need to do any more of these. Let's just double check if any of those have CDT or not, because I did not remember which CDT game I wanted to check out. So I'll be right back. Okay, it was Space Moves. So that one's a CDT. So we will test that one, I guess. All right. So that should be enough. I'm going to cut and go over onto the MiSTer side. Okay, so over on the MiSTer here, this is the screen that comes up when it first starts. And you hit your back button to get out of that to this page, and then left to go to the page that shows where your IP is. You're going to need to write that down. It may be different than mine, so check yours, see what it is, and then use that to connect with whatever SFTP program you want. I showed you how to do it with WinSCP. I have actually a whole video on that if you want further information, or you can just ask in the comments or whatever. So that's that. That's all you need for that. Now we're going to go back here to computer. Amstrad, this is the CPC. Load that up. And now we have to put the disk in. And I'm going to do Prince of Persia. And then we do cat. And it will show the name of the program. And then we do run. And then the quote, we do left shift 2. That gives a quote on this. And then name, PRINCE, enter, and it should run the program. Well, there we go. This makes a good comparison because I did this one on a different video as well. In the Sultan's absence, the Grand Vizier Jafar rules with the iron fist of tyranny. Only one obstacle remains between Jafar and the throne, the Sultan's beautiful young daughter. I think this one's controlled with a keyboard. Jafar or die within the hour. All the princess's hopes now rest on the brave youth she loves. Little does she know that he is already a prisoner in Jafar's dungeons. All right. Think this one you have to use the keyboard or enter. Maybe we're getting to it. Yeah, a little. All right. So this looks really good. Not hearing any sound much. Yeah, I'm not hearing any sound. Don't remember the. Alright, the spacebar must be paused. Yeah, if you hold down the spacebar, like pauses. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't remember. I should have looked up the directions. So what the buttons were, and I think there's a guy here. Yeah, there's a guy here. I don't want to fight him. So like M to jump? No. Up to jump, right. That makes sense. I know there's a modifier key, so you can like tiptoe. No, that's not it. Okay, there is some sound effects. They're just few and far between. I don't remember. I didn't look up like what's to grab on ledges and stuff like that. If there's a run and walk. Shift? Maybe it's shift. I don't know. Nope. There we go. Got the potion. Shift says hold on. Yeah, that's it. Shift is the modifier for. Okay. Now how do we jump? Well, we do jump with the jump. How do we run? I don't know. No, it's just regular run. Okay. And the jump is up. Okay. Jump. There we go. It's a keyboard game. So I'm not gonna do too much of this, but or maybe it will be too much based on your tastes. Who knows? But if I get through the first level or something. Whoa! Ow! Ow! Oh yeah, that's the pressure pad. Yeah, I knew that was gonna lock me down. Ugh! And I'm dead. That's a good place to stop. All right, let's see if we can load a CDT. And that is just tape and then run, I think. Tape. Whoops. Tape. Syntax error. Load CDT through OSD. Type. Oh, maybe it's pipe tape. And that is the shift bracket key. Tape. There we go. And then run. And then again, it is shift number 2. and it's just that. Press play on tape and any key. Let's just make sure that we've loaded it. See if it works. Be the first time I think I've done a tape one. Yeah. All right, here it goes. Loading. Not sure why this particular program I had on here, but apparently I chose to do that because it was a CDT thing. Oh yeah, I did load this once. I remember now. I have run this before. It's a neat little like running gun, I think. As you see, it loads a lot slower because it's a tape. Although it's not physically running a tape, it's processing it the same way as a real one would. And I don't know that the tape stuff is accelerated. I could just check. Tape sound is disabled, but you would hear it if it was. Yeah, I don't think there's any fast version, fast loading. Hardware. Yeah, see the right shift is backslash. That's what I was doing by accident. Oh, here's the model. Oh, tape progress bar is off. I could put it on. Just try it. There. Now we know how long it's going. I guess. I don't know if that actually gives us any sort of loading time information or not. I could have edited out the long times, but I kind of want you to see this. See how it loads in. So you get a good feel for it. And then maybe I'll do UN Squadron, which isn't great, but it was the one that got me to start using this because I wanted to do it for a shmup club that was playing that game that month, and I just wanted to try all the versions I could find, and it was kind of an excuse. It was like, let's see if I can get this system working on the MiSTer, so that got me into starting it. So I do want to kind of try that or show that one. Plus, it has joystick control and things like that. Once this loads, we'll see how it goes. I may edit out the loading on this, but I'm going to keep the thing rolling, and then we'll cut out what needs to be cut out at the end. That way I won't miss it. I won't know, but hopefully that progress bar will give me an idea. I don't remember where I first heard about this game. I saw it somewhere on some video, maybe, and it was available for Amstrad. I don't know if it was on anything else. I don't know. Maybe I was looking for it for something else, and I thought, oh, Amstrad, and I was like, let me try that, because it was right when I was experimenting with setting up the Amstrad, or soon thereafter. That could be why. Not that this is riveting in any way. But we'll get this up. Load it up and get this uploaded for you guys, and you'll have something to see because I was kind of taking a little break. I may leave this up just to show, it takes much longer for tape loading. You can always skip ahead. I will mark it, when it's done loading, So there'll be a chapter marker you can skip ahead. Of course, by now we're almost done, so you would have already, hopefully you would have already skipped ahead if you wanted to. But you can skip ahead to, however much time that is. So, I already said it, I think, earlier, but if you want to, if this video helps you out, like it, or more, what helps me out actually is if you leave a comment, because then that lets me know. Oh, here it's up, but that lets me know that people are making use of this. All right, yeah. So we got joystick music play. So I want 2 joystick there and move down, and then 4 to start playing. I think the other one's. Oh yeah, it's a little sort of run and gun type thing, although in a little sort of buggy thing. It's got good music. Oh. Let's see how far we can get. I can play this one a little bit before. Oh, come on. Oh, what? Ah, game over. Well, I'm not very good at it, but that's that one. Let's try loading UN Squadron. It actually is a pretty decent game. That one. Alright. It's a 2-discer, so we'll mount them like that. A and B, 1, 2. And reset. And cat. Run. Squadron. Oh, infinite credits? No. Sí or no? Trainer. Spanish written trainer, apparently. Oh, just hit space there. As it stretches the screen out to the normal way it should be showing. Neat little compressor routine there, huh? Can't remember what I need to do. I think it's still loading or something. Because it is not. And there it goes. Yeah, I think it just has to tape the side. It's not a tape though. Alright. There's one. Just one, just to be sure. One player start. Yeah, joystick is working. I'm gonna press what's A on my controller, although I didn't tell you what kind of controller I have. It's an 8-bit Pro 2, so it's B is on the bottom and then A is the right, which is like the opposite if you got an Xbox controller. Stop the tape, press any key. It's got music. I don't have a flash. Exit. It's quite sluggish. Frame rate's not great. It is playable though. I think I could try this earlier. this one is you have like a certain life or something like that. You only get one life. You have like energy. There, game over. So, yay! It's not great. It's really not great. It's if you want to play a good version of this, you play the SNES version, or the arcade version. But the SNES one, I think, a little bit better. I think they call that the definitive one, like the actual stuff. So there you go. That's that. I don't think I have anything else to show you here. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this or it was helpful for you. Either way, either one. If you'd like to see more of these videos, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. And that's it, and take care.